Welcome to Ink Differently, our podcast here at Sawgrass. I am Rhonda, the Education Manager, and I'll be sitting down twice per month with some of my favorite people on the planet to help tell you all about Sawgrass, about sublimation, about the VersaFlex decorating system, and hopefully give you some inspiration and some business tips along the way. All of my guests are experts in what they do, and I know you're going to learn quite a bit from them. So join us, and we are going to tell you everything you need to succeed with Sawgrass. Today is a very special edition of Ink Differently. We're sitting down with several members of our team, and specifically members of our care team. So hopefully you'll get a better idea of who it is who's answering your tickets and helping you resolve your issues with your Sawgrass printers. All right, so Stefan, thank you for joining us today. Let's get started with a few questions so everyone can get to know you better, all right?
Okay.
All right, David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
So we are joined by Clarissa. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you to have me.
Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
So, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's start with just some get to know you questions, all right?
Yeah, of course. Glad to be here.
Grayson, thank you so much for sitting down with us. I'm going to ask a couple of questions so everyone can get to know you better, all right?
Sounds good.
So what was your first job and what did you learn from it?
So I think my first job was at a computer store when I was about 12 years old. I took computer lessons for about 3 or 4 years prior to that, and on my final year of completing the Microsoft competency, the general manager wanted me to help the older people who were taking computer lessons there. I think it helped them. They didn't feel as intimidated to ask questions to a child as compared to an adult. So it kind of helped them grasp concepts a little bit easier. I guess I explained it in a way that they could understand. So yeah, my first job was at a computer store called Hankey's Computer Services.
Awesome. And what did that job teach you?
Well, at that young age, I didn't really understand what I was learning from that job, but as I grew older and had to relate to other people that had varying levels of or skill set, it taught me how to break things down in an understandable manner based on the recipient's level.
So my first job straight out of university, I worked in a call center at Know How, which is basically the technical support for Cora's PC World, which I think is the equivalent of Best Buy in America.
Yeah.
It was probably quite an experience. With it being my first job, I think you kind of learn. I think it's one of those life experiences, especially going straight into a very busy corporate call center. And one of the things I probably learned, which probably applies not necessarily in all places, is that in some work areas, it's definitely a case of who you know, not what you know. Probably what I learned about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that does happen. Ironically, my first job was I worked in a sewing factory as a presser. So my very first job, I was using large industrial presses and then end up in the ink manufacturing industry dealing with presses. So it's been kind of, yeah, a little different for me on that one. But yeah, it's very cool.
My first job was being a retail associate for Aeropostale. So that was basically my first job. I had no job experience prior, so The one thing I did learn from working there was team building, working in teams, and kind of distributing the work. So seeing that dynamic as for my first job was very interesting.
Awesome.
My first job was in hospitality as a barback support, and that was a long time ago, but helped me learn the importance to be prepared. That all the things are supported by something. So all the preparation, all the stocking was all about the support that we were doing. So it was a really important job. Even if it's in the back, you cannot see it.
My first job, I worked as a working student at a horse riding barn. And I feel like that job, I really learned like hard work and work ethic.
You would have to at a,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
My first job was a delivery pizza driver at a high school, and what I learned from it is to go the speed limit in residential areas.
Yep. That'll get you every time, and don't roll through those stop signs.
My very first job, I was actually a lifeguard. So I learned all sorts of skills, first aid, a lot of swimming skills, and literally how to save someone's life when they're drowning. But my first office job was in a customer service role. So I did learn a lot of skills in that have helped me with my role at Sawgrass.
Well, the answer to that is actually the answer to my bank security question. But the second part of that, that first job allowed me to be very customer service oriented.
Awesome. So what's one new skill you'd love to master, and why?
Well, I think in this day and age, and everything's going in a AI world, I think that's one of my focuses on mastering AI, but from a security perspective. A lot of folks are using AI now, and I think we need to pay a little bit more attention on the security aspects of it.
Well, I really love motorsport, and this is probably completely different to obviously my day-to-day role, but I also do sim racing in my spare time, and I'd love to learn trail braking, which is basically where you can rotate the car better in corner entry, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
Basically,
So-
moving at times.
So you want to learn more with sim racing, or would you like to
I'd
race
motor
real
race.
cars?
Well, I mean, it kind of applies to both sim racing and real cars. The techniques apply in both areas. So yeah, but and also, I mean, I've got quite a few things I like to master, to be fair. But I'm also like started learning the guitar, and I'm into 3D design and printing as well. So I mean,
Nice.
I don't have enough time.
Yeah. Not enough hours in the day.
I believe a new skill I'd like to master is probably, oh my goodness, this is a tough one. There's always something to learn. Yeah, Rhonda, you might have gotten me with this one. I was thinking of the way the question was. I was like thinking of a skill you want to improve. So I may just remix this question.
Yeah.
Something I would like to improve is my emotional intelligence in customer service.
Yeah.
Because everyone comes from different walks of life, so you have to know how to adapt and kind of talk to people, because not everyone receives you the same way.
I would really love to learn French because I really understand French, but I cannot speak it. So it will be my next step, start to speak it.
Okay, now just a side question, because I know it's several. How many languages do you speak?
Actually, 5.
So English, Italian, Spanish.
Spanish, Portuguese, and a local language of Congo that is Lingala.
Okay,
5.
and then you want to learn French. That's awesome.
I really want to learn how to knit.
Yeah.
Super bad. And I got like a little knitting kit, like beginner kit, and I still haven't done it, but I need to.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Probably to stop procrastinating. I feel like that'll make my life 10 times easier.
It would. It definitely would.
I'd love to be able to play the piano. Not for any reason really other than that. I just think it sounds really nice. I think it's really impressive when someone can play a really complex piece of music just so effortlessly.
Yeah. Now, do you play any other musical instruments?
No, I did when I was a teenager. I played the guitar, but it was self-taught, and I got to a point where I couldn't really carry on anymore. So I haven't done any instruments since I was about 17 years old.
Okay. You still play the guitar, just so you know, even if you haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, okay, then definitely. I play the guitar.
I'd love to master programming, and one of the reasons is just the job opportunities, and also personally, it'll make computer tasks a lot easier.
Yeah, of course. Now, what's your favorite way to relax after a long day at work?
I think, well, my day after work consists of course, taking care of my family and my kids and all that stuff. And then after they go to bed is when we really get a chance to relax. My favorite way of relaxing and winding down is reading before bed. So like 30 minutes before bed, I try to put away all devices and do a short reading before I fall asleep.
Well, I've got 3 kids, so relaxing after the office isn't necessarily always an option. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I find that the half an hour drive back from the office, listening to music is actually quite relaxing. It's a nice, relaxing drive. Otherwise, I mean, I tend to play video games or sim racing with my girlfriend. It tends to, yeah, relaxing that way. Usually, it's probably after kids have gone to bed, though.
Yeah.
I don't think this would be too bad. I would say going to the gym after being in the office, because I can kind of move my limbs, move my body, get blood circulating through my body. So that's a way to relax. Strangely,
No, you're not the first person to say that. So
Okay,
you're
great.
good. You're good. You're good.
To relax, I usually do cooking. Cooking relax me, a little bit of music while I'm cooking, or go to the gym. So my body relax there.
Awesome.
I love going for runs outside and then also snuggling with my little puppy.
Aw.
Probably going to the gym, getting a little gym session in, and just playing video games.
I've got a little dog. She's a rescue dog, so I love to take her on a nice walk and then come home and cook some comforting food. I find cooking's a really good way to unwind. It's sort of it gets you out of your head. You're just focusing on the chopping and making sure that everything goes right.
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite kind of food to cook?
Oh, to cook. I mean, a bit of anything really. I really like Pan-Asian food. I think the way you can layer flavors is really fun and creative.
Nice.
After a long day, I'll either usually go to the gym and or just relax and play some games.
Cool. All right, let's get into some a little bit deeper questions. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with Sawgrass.
Okay, well, my name is Stefan, of course. I've been with Sawgrass for going on 6 years this year, I think it is. About me, I have 4 kids, I'm married, I love sports. My favorite basketball team is the Celtics, my favorite football team is the New England Patriots, so it's just go Boston.
Awesome.
Oh gosh, so I'm 38. Obviously, I've got 3 kids, always kept busy. I've got a passion for anything technology related and motorsport. And I started working at Sawgrass probably about 12 and a half years ago. This is actually my second job, and I've kind of stuck around since.
Oh, that's awesome.
So one thing about me, I am 29 years old. I've been through a lot of things in terms of changing different career paths. So I guess I would say I've kind of got a hand in many different forms of customer service. With Sawgrass, I've been here for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Almost touching 2 years in September.
Now I've been with Sawgrass more than 2 years. I started support. I moved or Birmingham to Sheffield for starting with Sawgrass. It's been too amazing here. I progressed a lot, and I'm still here. I hope to continue to grow with this company.
So I'm part of the care team, and I've been with Sawgrass for almost a year and a half now.
Awesome.
I've been with Sawgrass for a year and a half, and a little bit by myself. I'm just carefree, go with the flow type of person.
I have only been with Sawgrass for, I think it's coming up to about 6 months now. I'm very new to the company. Before that, I was a translator. But in my role in Sawgrass, I work in customer support with assisting German-speaking customers as well as English-speaking customers. So I was able to bring my language skills with me into this role.
Which is always a wonderful thing to have.
A little bit about myself. Prior to Sawgrass, I was in the Navy for about 11 years, and I've currently been at Sawgrass for about 2.5.
Awesome. All right. So what does a day at Sawgrass look like for you?
Okay, so I manage the support team from a strategic level. So my day at Sawgrass looks like coming in, kind of getting an idea of what the ticket volume for the day is like. If users put in tickets overnight, try to guide the team in terms of internal notes on how I think certain things should be handled. And then I handle the other responsibilities that I have across departments.
Oh gosh, very varied. Obviously, it depends on the day of the week because some days I'm more focused on certain areas of the company or part of my role. But obviously, I manage a support team here in the UK. So, right off the bat, first thing of the day, I always check emails, tickets come in, just so I know what I'm walking into, see kind of if there's any updates I need to give the team, anything that needs prioritizing, etc. And then obviously throughout the day, I'm always there to help the team or any questions or resolutions, make sure as everything's kind of being taken care of. I also handle some of the articles on the knowledge base and any other additional task that's required of me within the company. So very varied, I'd probably say, yeah.
A day with Sawgrass. It's always a beautiful day. I can always say it's always opportunities, always new tickets to help with customers. Always kind of making sure we're prioritizing the customers first and just getting resolved with their issues.
For me, the first part of my day in Sawgrass is checking emails, checking cases, checking new trends, and starting to contact the customer that need to be contacted. And my favorite part would be on top of everything.
For me, it's answering tickets, hopping on remote sessions, as well as making some samples with VersaFlex and Sublejet, doing fun stuff.
Come in, answer as many tickets as I possibly can in the morning, and just trying to keep up with customer response in a timely manner.
Okay.
It can vary depending on the tickets, but it tends to have the same sort of structure. I'll log on in the morning, see what's come in overnight, and answer those. Sometimes we'll get tickets from customers that it's not a question that you immediately know the answer to, so you'll need to do some testing on the printers in-house so that we can go back to them with recommendations based on their specific situation.
Well, after getting to the office, after battling traffic, I usually set up my workstation, answer any tickets that we weren't able to get to during our off hours, and once I got caught up, I'm usually making some coffee.
Awesome. Now, what is your favorite thing that can be made with a Sawgrass printer?
I like drinkware. So tumblers and mugs are my favorite thing. They're easy. They're easy to customize. They're easy to produce, and they last forever.
I don't think there's one single thing really. Probably Chromolux metal panels. Probably because of you can take a really nice high quality image and put it on a metal panel and hang it up, and it looks really sleek and well designed. In our office, I actually made I've got an image of an iceberg, a really big iceberg. I split into three, so I've got three Chromalox panels, kind of nicely cut. It looks really neat. I mean, other than that, mugs really simple to make, but really look really good. You can personalize them. Same with coasters. Versaflex, so easy to do as well on cotton t-shirts, and come out great as well. So there's loads of different things really.
Well, that was a great list because you included both Seamount and Lauren's answers in yours. The team definitely thinks alike over there.
My favorite thing to make is probably a puzzle with Sublojet ink.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
For me, my favorite would be metal panels. I really love metal panels. We in Sheffield, we have a wall made with a beautiful picture made also of metal panels. And I think one day I want to reproduce in my home if my wife let me do it.
Yeah, they're so beautiful and so versatile and just really, really, like you said, a great piece of your home decor.
Probably just a good t-shirt, like a nice cotton, 100% cotton t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'll say a polyester shirt. Maybe like a polyester shirt.
Okay.
It might be a bit boring, but I really like the t-shirts, the cotton t-shirts that you can print with Versaflex. I just think the colors are amazing and it's just a really good effect.
Yeah. And there's nothing boring about a t-shirt. I mean, everyone wears them every day and you can do so many different styles and things with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is true.
Probably my favorite thing is anything with wood panels or cloth, like linen or cotton.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Now, what advice would you give someone who is about to take their first Sawgrass printer out of the box?
Don't be intimidated, right? I think people fall in love with the idea of what the Sawgrass printer can do, but when it gets to actually executing on that, they get a little bit intimidated. Yeah. So I would say just dive right in, and if you run into any problems, that's what the Sawgrass Care Team is here for.
Perfect.
Probably just take the time to read the setup guides, just to make sure kind of everything's there. Just take the time to set it right, download Sawgrass printer utility. Also check which ink type you've got, and then you know which one to select when you install the program. As always, if in doubt, we're always here to help. Always there, so yeah.
Take a deep breath and don't think you have to have it all figured out by just looking at it. Just kind of look at the directions. There's usually directions on the box, and then just follow after that. Like I said, sometimes instructions can be a little intimidating for people, especially if this is something they've never had. But if you ever need more assistance, just reach out to us at customer care.
Perfect.
I would say to take a time to learn the print and the usage. We offer learning possibilities, so don't be shy to contact us to learn. It's a step-by-step process.
Yeah, definitely. Taking advantage of the onboarding classes is huge.
Look through all of our resources that we have in the knowledge base. Really get informed on your printer and the maintenance that may be required for it, so then you're ready to go.
Perfect.
I would say kind of know and understand the product that you're trying to make, especially your press settings, like your heat, time, and temperature, and really use the Sawgrass website YouTube video for more educational benefits.
Watch the onboarding and tutorial videos on YouTube. They're really informative, and although it is a fairly quick process to set the printer up, it's just really good to have something to follow along to, I think.
Yeah, definitely very helpful.
I highly recommend reading the manual. There's a bunch of tips in there, not only for setting up for the first time, but for continual use and maintenance.
Perfect. Now, for someone submitting a ticket to the care team, What are your 3 biggest tips?
Don't stress. Be as detailed as possible in the issues that you're facing. Provide pictures if you can, and be willing to be coached through the steps that we're going to walk you through.
I'm not sure about 3 things, but I'd probably say the most important and valuable thing would be to add as much detail as possible when submitting your ticket. If you'd add as much detail as possible, then at least it gives us a bigger picture of what's happening. Also, add any kind of photos or screen recordings if possible, and then we can actually see what's going on. We can get you a resolution a lot quicker. And we do aim to get back to customers within like 2 hours. Usually it's a lot less. My other tip as well, if you feel you're not receiving a reply from us, check your spam inbox.
The biggest tips I would have to say would be the more information, the better. If you could be patient with us as well, because we're also dealing with other tickets as well, but we always make sure we reach out to you within a timely manner. And always keep an open mind with troubleshooting, especially if you think particularly you may know what the resolution may be by just kind of looking at it, but that's the whole point of reaching out to us, so we can kind of give you a resolution just to kind of make sure you're on the right path.
To put the information, if you put already all the information, is go quick. The second tips, I would say collaboration. Don't look as like the enemy. If we are asking for something, it's not because we want to complicate you, but we need information to understand what's really going on. And as a third one, be friendly. Everything is going to be smooth. We're going to always find a solution for you.
Yeah, so I guess I would sum that up as, remember, we're working together. We both have the same goal to get your printer up and running, right?
Yes.
Depending on where you submit it from, just know that you're going to get an email response. And so to keep an eye out on your email, we always try to respond in the best way possible. Sometimes that's email, sometimes that's calling. And then look through, while you're waiting, go ahead and look through our knowledge base to see if there's anything regarding the issue that you're inquiring about. 3
biggest tips would be to really be detailed with what exactly is going on. That would save a lot of time. Know exactly kind of where the problem lies in, where it'd be like ink or maybe a software problem. And if the answer we give you is kind of staring off at the wrong direction, it's okay to kind of just remind us, like, you know, kind of learn to focus on this or that, and kind of take it one problem at a time instead of halfway getting through a problem and then focusing on a different problem.
Include as much information as you can. Describe when the issue first occurred, whether it's occurring all the time or intermittently. Include any photos or videos that you can include, because that can really help us visualize the problem. And include a phone number. Some customers don't include a phone number on the ticket, and we're struggling to reach them by email. So we can just give them a quick call and get it resolved as quickly as possible.
Exactly. Yeah, that phone number is very important, because sometimes you do have that issue getting in touch via email, whether it's tickets are going to spam or junk mail, or whether it's just a bad email address. So having that phone number as a backup is a huge one.
The first one would be to be thorough. We want to know exactly what happened, when it happened, and what's going on currently. Send pictures or recordings as well. Those are very helpful. And the last thing would be to read the knowledge base on our website, because a lot of times it has some pretty neat tips and tricks that might get you taken care of.
Yeah. All right. And finally, what is the biggest thing you want Sawgrass users to know about the care team?
The biggest thing users should know is that the team is very willing to get users up and running. They care a lot about the end user in terms of whatever issues they have and try to get them up and running. So sometimes it might get a little bit frustrating based on what you have going on, but the team is generally here to help, and they like helping people.
Probably that we do actually care. Obviously, as mentioned earlier, I came from a large corporate business beforehand. And we're not a large corporate business. Despite our global presence, we are quite a small team, and we don't just see users and numbers, but we actually see them as a person, understand and appreciate the importance of getting them back up and running as soon as possible. So obviously that's why I said earlier, we're always happy to help. We're here to help. So yeah, that's it really.
Awesome.
We are small but mighty. So a lot of people think that we're a big company with plenty of people on the Sawgrass team, but right now we're, I would say 4 people to 5 people. So just be patient with us, and then we'll get to you as soon as possible.
The main thing I would say, we are your friends. We are here to help you. And if you are happy with the service, with the printer, with your results, we are happy for you as well.
Yep. Yeah. Same goal, right? Trying to get everything working.
That we really do genuinely care about you guys, and we want to help in the best way possible.
Awesome.
We're here for you. We're here to solve your issues as quickly as possible, you know, and we want you guys to be able to submit your tickets and knowing that, hey, these guys are going to quickly respond to what my issue is.
Awesome.
Just we're here to help. We may not always have the immediate answer. It may seem like we're asking irrelevant questions sometimes, but we're gathering all the information we can because we really do care and we want to help get customers printing high quality and as quickly as possible.
That we are as motivated as you are to resolve your problem. So if you've got a problem that's just persistent, we're going to be with you every step of the way, and we won't stop until everything's resolved.
Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It was really great to hear from them. I learned some new things about my team members as well, so that was pretty cool. But I hope what you really got is that they all pretty much said the same things as far as what needs to happen when you take your printer out of the box. We have lots of resources out there to help you, and really just find the resources that work best for you and how you like to gather information. So whether that's checking out our YouTube videos, whether that is setting up a session with our onboarding team, or whether it's just using the written instructions in the guide and on the box. All of these are here at your disposal. And of course, if you need anything further, always open that ticket at cure.sawgrassinc.com. And I hope you heard them loud and clear that they really do care. And that's why we call them the care team. And you are both on the same team. They want to help resolve your issues and get you up and running just as much as you want to do that too. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you so much for joining us today and making it to the end of this podcast with us. We'll be bringing you these every other week right here, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, and we'll make sure to link it all over our Sawgrass site as well. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.